So I want to know nowadays, how do you find a therapist? Is it through the Psychology Today website? Is it through social media? Is it word of mouth? Or do you find a therapist through your insurance directory? Because therapy as we know it has completely been revolutionized by the use of technology and social media. So let's get into it, okay? I'm Denise Brady, and I'm a therapist who just loves to talk about the things that we experience every day as therapists, social media, pop culture. And so I have found that being a social media therapist myself has really changed the game, okay? Gone are the days of people only knowing what time their appointment is, where to go, and how much to pay for it. Those were the key things I would say probably 5 to 10 years ago was all people really want to know about a therapist. Now we got millennials, we got Gen Z, switched up the whole game now. You cannot just be a therapist who only focuses on that client-patient dynamic. Those days are gone, okay? I'm here to tell you. And so if you're not ready with the picture, your business is not going to succeed. And for people who are seeing you as clients who are looking for a therapist, that's not all they want no more, okay? And I want to know from your perspective, as a client, as someone maybe who has looked for a therapist, what are some of the key things you look for, and how do you find a therapist? Let me know in the comments. From my own experience, I would say I get the majority of my clients from social media. And I know people who are used to only having to give a small portion of themselves to get clients are not on board with the social media. They're not on board with having to be more transparent a little bit about who they are as people. But you got to rip that Band-Aid off, because TikTok has been my probably number one referral source. And then Instagram is probably second, because I feel like people want to know more about me than just, okay, I read this profile on Psychology Today. I went to your website. Okay, it sounds like you got the vibes, but let me go on my phone, my computer, and let me see what her TikTok is like. Let me see what her Instagram is like to see, what am I really getting? Okay, what is a therapist that I'm getting? Because maybe I'm tired of going through therapist, and not finding the match. Maybe I'm at a place where I really want to find that person that we just vibe and we can just work together, who can really understand me. Because sometimes people go through so many therapists that they get tired of that process so much that they give up on therapy. So for me, I use a lot of social media as marketing for my clients, for my business, for me as an individual, my brand. And that has been the key for me of getting clients, referrals, word of mouth. Even if people are not my clients, they refer me to other people who are looking for a therapist, okay? So social media really has changed the game. But being a social media therapist, finding clients on there, branding, can get complicated at times, because sometimes people only see us as therapists, not human beings. So sometimes we might have opinions, might have political views. Sometimes people might express those political views on social media as a therapist. And here come the internet gangsters to come rep they set and tell you, oh no, girl, you're not allowed to have an opinion. Oh no, girl, you said what? Let me look you up. Let me report you to the board. Let me write a negative review about you. Even though I've never met you, I disagree with some of the things you say on social media. So I have power, and I'm going to exercise my power to kind of take down your business. Yes, there are people out there who have a lot of time on their hands, and sometimes they don't like to be blocked. Sometimes they disagree with what we say as therapists. So as we have seen, there have been therapists who have faced a lot of backlash, a lot of negative things in their personal business, because people on the internet sometimes take what we do really, they put us on a pedestal. And as soon as we decide we don't want to be on that pedestal and we exercise our boundaries, sometimes there is negative backlash. So I think at times therapists don't want to go into the whole social media thing of marketing, business, because people on the internet sometimes can make or break your business. Okay. Even me, myself, as a therapist, I found myself, I have a different type of humor, a different type of personality, but I had to learn that not everyone on the internet knows me. They don't know me personally. They don't know my personality. They know a version of me that they're getting from what they see on these platforms. But sometimes my humor can be a little bit crude, a little bit dark, a little sarcastic, a little bit too much in your face. Okay. So I've had people come on my profile and make comments of, how could you say this? You're a therapist. What if your clients see this? Aren't you afraid of how this could negatively impact your business? And what's the other one? If you were my therapist, I would run. Okay. I can't believe you're posting this kind of stuff, because first, I'm a human, and then I'm a therapist. And my platform on all these, social media sites is about being your authentic self, being an authentic therapist, healing authentically. So that's what I show, but not everybody's on board with that. And so you have to kind of find the balance between like really being who you are as a therapist, but then not, going too far. Maybe you just don't care. Okay. But nowadays, people really want to know more about the therapist before they just come into the room. I want to know, what are some things that you look for when researching a therapist? Is it that you want to know their personality, their political views? Sometimes you might need someone who identifies with your sexual orientation, things like that. I want to know so I can help other people look for a therapist, because at the end of the day, our goal is to do no harm. No harm is in our ethics, our standards, but not everyone is from that. Not everyone thinks about that when, posting on social media. Sometimes I've seen therapists really take all those followers, the notoriety to the head. And sometimes I think they risk their careers, the foundation of their business, our ethics for followers, okay? To be an influencer. A therapist influencer is like the thing that came up the last probably 4 to 5 years is now there are therapy influencers. But me personally, I'm not willing to risk my livelihood, my business for followers. That's why I personally do not take the whole social media thing really to head, where it's like, okay, I got to do this for my followers. I need to get my count up. I need to get my views up. No, I simply do it for fun. And so I want people to know that we are therapists, but behind that title, those credentials, those words behind our names, we are human beings. Okay. So when you're looking for a therapist, think about, take it with a grain of salt, the things that we post, because sometimes we're not exactly those people. Other times, therapists might be that exact person in the session, but really, people have to see that therapists are human beings. Okay. And sometimes the role of social media can complicate things. It can be good for your business, but in some ways it can harm your business. But I think people really want to know more about who they are getting when they show up for that session. Okay. So social media can be good, but it can be bad. Now, for me personally, I really enjoy it. I'm just myself. It allows me to create. It allows clients to get a perspective about who I am as a person. But I don't take it too far in thinking about like my views, my followers. Let's get that up. What's going on with my, people are unfollowing me. I don't take it like that. But I do think people are using social media to find mental health resources, therapists, using it to really research who is this person behind their Psychology Today profile, behind their Therapy for Black Girls profile. They're really focusing on social media. So as a client or someone who has been in therapy, let me know your thoughts. Let's start a chat. Let's get the conversation going. Have you used social media to find a therapist? And do you think that social media and technology is really changing the way that therapy is going? Let me know, and I will see you in the next video. If you got this far, make sure you like, subscribe. I post videos twice a week, so you want to get them notifications, right? And I'll see you in the next video.